Morning, everyone. This morning we're putting together a Fass Platinum Series lift pump for a '08 Cummins. So essentially what I'm going to do is this, for some of you who've already done these, this is not for you. This is for folks that don't want to take the time to read the instructions or essentially literacy challenged or not computer savvy. It's not a bad thing. It's just stuff happens, and sometimes it's easier to have somebody walk you through it, and that way, just it's easier to do it that way. So anyway, it's on a quick note. These are the basic tools that you'll need to get this job done. In order just to set the pump up and get your hole drilled. This is your pickup tube, and this is essentially the large pickup tube. This is your supply. It's marked S. That's the supply side. R is your return side. The NP fittings, I recommend using the blue, just regular Teflon tape, which is, this is generally what I use here. Then this is your Fass bracket kit, and essentially with the pump all set up, don't secure the bolts because you have to set your adjustment. Use some Loctite blue. These are 7/16. I use it with a 1/4 inch ratchet. Your large washers, spacers go here, and then of course your feet. This is your supply line to the engine from the tank to the to return to the tank. So I mean, it's pretty basic setup. This is real simple. This just goes to the body, the cab bolt or the body bolt right behind the box underneath the filler neck. It's a 15mm bolt, comes out. The other bolt comes with the kit, which is right here, the replaceable bolt. Make sure you put this insulator in. Goes underneath or above this bracket, like so. And once that's done, that's pump's hung. Take your hose and then run the hose accordingly. These lines don't require any hose clamps. They don't require any. As most of you that do these on a regular daily basis, these push locks are rated up to 300 pounds PSI, so they will not come off. So if when you go to set these, make sure they're where you want them, because once they're on, you're committed. So that means in order to get them off, you have to cut them off. Be sure to use like a good grease inside the line and on the fitting. And again, once you start pushing, push till the line gets clear to the yellow ring, because like again, once that line stops, it's not going any further. That's it. Once it's on, it's on. Job takes about 2 hours. You'll need to take your tank out. Once you have the tank out of the truck, you'll need to take and drill a 1 3/8 inch hole in the tank, which is your basic hole saw. Done deal. Make sure that when you drill a location, that it has a natural pooling spot in the tank, because if you don't, what will happen is essentially you won't be able to pick up all the usable fuel. Which means that you can have issues with running out of fuel, or get on a hill where all the fuel will run to the back of the tank, and essentially, if you're four-wheel driving or climbing a hill, that's going to be a problem for you. Your light will come on, and it can damage your injection pump, and that can be a big problem, which can lead to about $2,000 to $3,000 worth of damage to your engine and injectors and other stuff that can just be a real headache for you. So, the total job takes about 3 hours. Then once you have all this stuff installed, once you have the tank out, you'll reach inside the tank with the fuel module out. You'll reach inside the tank once this is installed. You'll slide the nut up the tube, secure it good. There's a little rubber ring inside here. They'll come with this kit. There'll be a rubber O-ring that comes with it. Install your ring on both sides of the tank. Secure the nut. Make sure it's good and tight. Install your lines, and you're pretty much done with that part. The kit comes with the wiring. The wiring is pretty self-explanatory. Look at the wiring. It already comes with a fuse in it. Let's see. Run to positive, negative. It's pretty much a done deal. Plug it in to the the module supply, and the truck on this end, the fuel pump, and it's pretty much done. So you circle the key. It works the way it's supposed to. It's pretty much done. So, and that's pretty much that. So that's pretty much that in a nutshell. So, yeah. Anyway, and that is pretty much that in 4 minutes and 48 seconds. So, I hope that helps you out and saves you about 30-40 minutes of instructions. So, again, let's go over these fittings real quick. So once you get the bag open, because it took me a couple minutes to figure out where all the fittings went, and it was kind of a pain in the ass. Okay, so, oh, and these little caps here, the ones that H, are for your fuel heater. So if you want to have heated fuel, leave these capped, because otherwise it just gets dirt in there and whatnot. But it doesn't supply any fuel unless you supply fuel to it from the heater in your truck. Okay, so let's turn this back around here. So these aren't used in this one, but this is going to be your supply. So this is to the engine, supply from the truck, and then your return back to the tank. So anyway, so you get a look at the fittings. So these are the standard. They come about 5 of these, 1 of these, 1 elbow, and then again 5 of these. So, and then there's one oddball fitting which will go on the back of the fuel fuel filter, which is this little guy here, which just screws on the back of the fuel filter. I'll take this cap off here. This screws in the back of the fuel filter, and that's pretty much that. Slide your line on, and it's done. You don't have to do with anything with the real return, other than on from the pump itself, because it'll use the rest of the return, the natural return that's already on the truck. So that's pretty much a done deal. As far as the from the filter back to the tank, because you're not interrupting any of that. So it's just using the high pressure return from the pump back to the tank. All right, then there it is.